Hey everyone, this is Andrew. I got my Tesla Model Y about a week and a half ago, and one of the first things that I wanted to do to customize it was to remove the remaining chrome. The Model Y has a chrome front Tesla logo, rear Tesla logo, and that dual motor badge, but it doesn't match the rest of the black trim that the car has, so I wanted to use Plastidip to go ahead and turn the logos black. I wanted to show the process of using Plastidip to cover those chrome emblems, and it's actually quite simple. It's relatively durable. It's not going to last forever, but it is good enough, at least for now, until maybe you want to actually paint it later on. The first step in applying Plastidip is to make sure that the areas that you're going to spray are relatively clean. I use a no-rinse wash solution. You can, wash your car as regular, make sure that the area is clean. The second thing that you want to do is mask off the emblems. I'm just going to show the front emblem here, but the same process applies to the rear as well and the dual motor badge. The front is relatively easy to mask off. I'm just using some painting paper from Home Depot as well as some Scotch painter's tape. The kind that I got is supposed to be for delicate surfaces, but what I found is that it actually leaves some pretty nasty residue on your car. So you may want to experiment with different types of tape instead of just getting the delicate surface tape. The adhesive does come off the car with some washing, but if this is a new car, then you might want to avoid getting the adhesive on it in the first place and having to try and scrub it off. Plastidip works best if you have a little bit of space around what you're trying to dip. In my case, I left, maybe a half an inch to an inch on all sides of the emblem. That gives me some space later to pull the dip off of the paint, while at the same time it gives nice clean edges around the Tesla logo. Once you've masked off the logo that you're going to dip, you have to think about how you're actually going to apply the spray. The spray for Plastidip comes out in kind of like a big stripe pattern, which makes it really easy for you to actually spray across the emblem. What you want to do is to have several different layers, and there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube on how to actually apply Plastidip itself. But for myself, what I did was I applied 5 layers total. The first layer of Plastidip that I did was essentially spraying it head on, completely perpendicular to the hood of the car and the emblem. That way the spray gets on the very top of the emblem. Because there's some edges and corners, you want to make sure that all of them are coated correctly and evenly. One way to ensure that all the edges are coated evenly is to, with the remaining layers that you're going to put on this emblem, to spray them in different directions. So you want to angle the spray can so that it is pointing up a little bit, and then you want to do it to the left, to the right, and then from the bottom. And that way, each layer ensures that each side is properly coated and you're not going to miss any edges. Once you're done with all the coats of Plastidip, while it's still a little bit wet, you can start to pull off your masking tape and paper. You want to make sure that it's not completely dry so that you get clean edges. The paper and tape should come right off, leaving you with a triangle of Plastidip around your emblem. The remaining Plastidip that's on your paint, don't worry, you can peel it right off. It's a little bit like a thin rubber sheet. It's not quite as durable as actual rubber would be, so it will kind of tear, which is okay, but just incrementally keep peeling off around the logo until you get as much off as possible. It's best if during this stage, when you're peeling off these big sheets, you can peel it off right up to the edge. So there's a lot of sharp corners on the Tesla T, especially around the bottom and the sides of the bottom and the top. You want to try and get it all off in one go. For little details like the area between the top of the T and the bottom section, or even the letters in that dual motor badge, you can use a toothpick in order to try and scrape out some of these smaller areas where you can't get your fingers in. You want to make sure that it's a wooden toothpick so you don't end up scratching your paint. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the results for $10. It's definitely not perfect and Plastidip will eventually peel off, but it's pretty easy to redo when it needs to be done again, and I think the car looks much better this way. Like I mentioned, I just got the Model Y about a week and a half ago. I've already done about 500 miles in it. I'll be doing another video soon about my delivery experience along with the problems that I found with the car during delivery, including paint issues and the hatch alignment. But overall, I'm very happy with the car, and I'm looking forward to doing some more videos on autopilot in the future as well.